Valley Conference, and it's renewed tonight as the Bradley Braves pay a visit to the Illinois State Redbirds. Hi, everybody, and welcome inside Redbird Arena for Bradley against Illinois State here on Marquee Sports. Kurt Pegler alongside Bob Morris. These two schools will play for the 131st time tonight. They're separated by only 40 miles of interstate, but they're separated by a lot more in the standings right now, because the Bradley Braves have stepped on the gas here in the early going of the Valley race.
You're exactly right, Kurt. You nailed it there. The Braves are playing as good a basketball as they have all season at this very point in time. They're 3-1 in league play, and only reason they have only 3 wins is they've had some cancellations due to the virus. This is a team that's playing its best basketball right now. The Redbirds, they're young. They're learning every night out, and they're getting better. Right now, though, it's going to be a real challenge for this game tonight.
One of the reasons why the Braves are playing so well, they have one of the best players in the league in the post. It's Elijah Childs.
Elijah Childs is a lock for first-team all-conference if the voting took place today. He might even be in the running for player of the year because he's playing that well. He is an outstanding scorer. He's an outstanding rebounder. He leads the league in blocks, and he is a true leader on the floor. This young man makes things happen.
Meanwhile, the Redbirds are struggling right now, as you mentioned, Bob. They're looking for a spark someplace, and maybe they get it from one of their newcomers in Dusan Mahortic.
Well, he has been a real plus this year. He was a much-needed muscle man threat on the inside, Kurt. He has brought that with 10 points a game, almost right at 8 rebounds a game. He's given them something they wouldn't have without him, that's for certain.
Stay tuned. It's Illinois State and Bradley. The great I-74 rivalry is up next here on the Marquee Sports Network. Are being announced their starting lineups for Bradley and Illinois State, and tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by your Illinois Ford dealers. Only one senior among the 10 players in the starting fives tonight. Bradley starts a freshman, 2 sophomores, a junior, and that one senior is Elijah Childs. The Redbirds have 3 sophomores in their starting 5, along with 2 juniors and freshman Haruna Sissoko. So some youth on both these rosters. Terry Nolan and Sean East have really provided a nice spark as newcomers for the Braves. And Rink Mass now in his 5th consecutive start for Bradley, playing for the injured Ari Boya, who's wearing a boot on his foot. The Redbirds have had that starting 5 pretty much for the last couple of weeks at least, and only their strength has been their guard play, Horn, Strong, and Reeves. We do have another injury update for you. Jashawn Henry will not play tonight for Bradley. He's in concussion protocol. He suffered that concussion yesterday in practice, so he's in street clothes on the Bradley bench and not playing tonight against Illinois State. Let's talk about the keys to the game, Bob. Let's start with the visiting Braves.
Well, for Bradley, I think they have to play to their strength, which is a very balanced attack. They go inside, outside against you. They have Childs on the inside, who we've spoken about already, how strong he is. On the outside, they are so good at shooting. They complement each other with their inside-outside attack. Plus, I think their defense is a strength of this team. They are physical. They get after it. They hold their opponent to 61.5 points per game, 20th lowest in all of Division I basketball. They're a good basketball team. ISU, they have to man up on the boards. Tonight I talked about the physicality already of Bradley. ISU has to match that and not give Bradley second chance attempts. And magic in old number 69. When ISU hits 69 scoring, they're 4-0. When they're 68 and below, they're 0-8. So they've got to get to the magic number 69.
Redbird defense comes up with a stop there on Childs. Bradley wearing road red uniforms with white numbering and trim, and Illinois State in the home whites with red numbering and trim. Red and white versus red and white. It's the I-74 rivalry here. Illinois State playing host to Bradley.
It's a great rivalry, Kurt. We both know that. It's got so much history in it. It's everything a rivalry should be.
Except without fans this year.
You had to go there.
So hard to imagine this game means so much to the fans in Central Illinois, and not to have the packed houses. It's hard to swallow, but
it is.
That's this season, and we'll just make the best out of basketball without fans. This is Childs from the baseline is missed, and Sissoko comes away with it. The Redbird coaching staff saying, go, 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 trying to encourage the Redbirds to step up the pace here. So the Redbirds are going to turn it over and back. And so Bradley will get the basketball back. The Redbirds come in at 4-8. Bradley comes in at 9-4, coached by Brian Wardle in his 6th season. 90 wins, 90 losses. 6 players back and 5 newcomers for the Braves. And Dan Muller on the other end, in his 9th season, the former Redbird star, has a very young lineup. In fact, no seniors on the roster, but Keith Fisher, Illinois State's senior, opted out at the beginning of the season. That left no seniors on this Illinois State roster. And there's Childs with the first bucket of the game.
Good little touch shot right there, but it was a great pass to get him the opportunity. Rink Mask give him that chance.
Redbirds run a nice play. Get a backdoor lay in there. That's Antonio Reeves with the first Illinois State field goal.
Good transitional defense right there by the Redbirds. We saw that being a downfall in their last game against Evansville, where they got beat back a couple of times for a couple easy lay-ins. I gotta believe that was a point of discussion in film session.
Nova with this, and now Illinois State with this is Strong. The transfer from Navy, played a year of junior college basketball as well. A junior for Illinois State, has been in the starting lineup really since the first day. A solid performer for the Redbirds for the most part of the season. Reeves just turned it over. I think he was trying to flip the ball to Mahortich, but Mahortich came up to make a screen for Dan Muller's team. We mentioned his 9th season at Illinois State. The former Redbird star was a star player here in the middle 90s. And Dan's got quite a history against Illinois State. He went against Bradley. He went 5-3 against the Braves as a player. He's 9-7 against Bradley as the head coach of his alma mater. This is Tavin Ninen. Air ball on the 3. Mast comes down with the rebound. He can't get it to go either.
Nobody's burning the nets early. That's for certain. That's what rivalries do. They'll create scenarios that you haven't seen all year long. And Coach Wardle said, throw out the records.
Mahortich, his first shot is no good. As I mentioned, both teams, Bradley's 1 out of 6 from the floor, 1 out of 2 for Illinois State, but there's Mast running the floor and scoring.
He did, but it was a great pass from Elijah Childs. You got your 6'8" post player bringing the ball down the floor in transition and making a great pass like that for a lay-in. That's impressive work.
East just picks up the foul for the Braves. Mast is averaging 10.5 points and 6 rebounds a game in this starting role. We mentioned that Ari Boya is wearing a boot. He's the 7-footer for Bradley, who hasn't played a game in the Missouri Valley portion of the season this year, but Mast has done nicely to step into that role for the Braves. This is Horn missing, and Mast. There's Childs again down low.
Can't lose track of him. He ran the baseline underneath that zone on the bottom and found the open gap. And boy, when he gets it there, that's 2. He's gonna crank that all night if that's given up.
Strong looking for some help. 7 on the shot clock. 3 ball from Strong is missed. It's knocked out of bounds. It's off of Illinois State. Portage knocked it out of bounds. We'll see our first substitutions of the night now. Antonio Thomas checks in. He's a guard for Bradley. Darius Hanna's a freshman forward from Milwaukee. He also enters the game for the Braves.
I think you're going to see some early substitutions by Bradley. I think Coach Wardle is going to, he's down a couple of players, so he's going to utilize the bench early just to save some legs as the game progresses.
And Adu Jai is checked in now for Illinois State. He replaces Mahortich. Again, the lefty is knocking him down. Elijah Childs has had about 4 shots from that same spot on the floor. He missed his first one, but he's knocked down now 3 of them. He's got 6 points, 6 of Bradley's first 8.
ISU's defense might want to locate him. He's proven he's going to make that shot.
Redbirds trying to attack Bradley's man-to-man defense. This is Reeves working on Thomas. Lost the dribble out of bounds, and it's going to go to the Braves. And we've got our first time out on the floor. We're just underway here. I-74 rivalry game at Redbird Arena with Bradley leading 8-2 here on the Marquee Sports Network. We're giving our producer, Lucas Raycraft, A+ for coming up with this video of the I-74 rivalry, January the 2nd, 1978, a game played at Bradley's Robertson Memorial Fieldhouse between Illinois State And Bradley, the ISU players included Joe Galvin, Billy Lewis, Derek Mays, Del Yarbrough, Randy Smithson, of course, Gene Smithson coaching that team. Bradley had Roger Fegley, a future NBA player, Bobby Humbles, Kenny Garrett, Dan Ruffin, Alex Majeka. There's the final score. The Redbirds won that game by a point, 84-83. Joe Stoll was the coach of the Bradley Braves. How about 1978?
What a phenomenal clip that was. That, you talk about a flood of memories. What two really, really good basketball teams. That was, you talk again, we say what a rivalry this is. How look, go back to their 1-point ball game. Ooh, those were fun. Still are.
It's a nice move and a lay in there from Darius Hannigan. And he's just checked in. He's the freshman from Milwaukee. He played 33 minutes this past weekend against Evansville in a pair of games, so he got some minutes in that series, and quickly on the floor here against the Redbirds. And Howard Fleming Jr., a good-looking freshman for the Redbirds in the scorebook, as he's just checked in as well.
Two freshmen right there looking good, making good moves, making a name for themselves early on in this contest.
Just some final thoughts, too, about that footage from 1978. Robertson Memorial Fieldhouse isn't even standing anymore, but the Fieldhouse and Horton Fieldhouse, obviously great memories for long-standing fans of the I-74 rivalry. Another nice basket for Darius Hanna.
Where it's pretty obvious that when he went in the game, he was told be aggressive, go right at it. And he is attacking.
Fleming's going to try to do the same, it looks like, for the Redbirds, although he's double-teamed. He's lost the dribble, and it's a 5-second call, so the Bradley defense comes up with another turnover against the Redbirds.
Somebody's got to come to his rescue when he picks his dribble up like that. He can't be left on an island down there when he's double teamed. There's got to be a teammate that makes himself. You got to sacrifice at that point. Come, forget the play. Come get the ball. He's in trouble.
8-point Bradley lead, and the Braves with the basketball here.
Darius Hanna, as you pointed out, has been a real spark plug here.
He's going one-on-one with Jai, but he kicks it out. They rotate the ball over to Tavin Nyman. He's missed his first 2 3 balls, but Childs goes and gets, so the Braves are going to have another opportunity here as they reset the shot clock.
I spoke about what I thought one of the keys to the game was going to be was rebounding and second chance opportunities for the Braves, but they can't come away with one there.
You got a jump ball, a held ball there. It was a pair of number 4s. Abdu Jai had it for Illinois State, but Terry Nolan reached in and got it for the Braves and tied him up. So on the alternate possession, it'll be Redbird basketball.
Abdu Jai is going to have a seat, and Dusan Mahorshik comes back in. Jai I don't know that he understands the energy required in a game of this nature because he got blown by twice on defense. He got jump ball, gave up right there that he should. I mean, he had the rebound and then just turned and presented it. And you just got to sit down and regroup. It's early in the game.
Redbirds have now put Dedrick Boyd in the game and Alex Kodoff as well. A couple of reserve players now on the floor for the Redbirds. That's Kodoff with a deflected pass there. And Boyd, by the way, coming off a 19-point performance on Sunday against Indiana State. Now we're having almost a line change here for the Braves as they're sending in some fresh bodies as well.
As I said, I think because they're down numbers, you're going to see Coach Wardle go to his bench early and often and just keep rotating.
Daniel Kingsby, who's a senior on the floor now, along with Jason Kent, who's a freshman. They've entered the game for the first time here.
That was good defense by Kodoff right there. He's being very active in the back part of that zone for the Redbirds.
Another offensive rebound, and this time again, it's Darius Hanna. He's come off the Bradley bench with 3 field goals here in the opening minutes of this basketball game.
Redbirds have got to be careful. It's the rebound that's going to give second chance opportunities and distance. Put some distance between the two teams. You can't do that. You got to get strong and tough because the Braves are going to bring it at you. They're going to be aggressive.
Fleming stepped on the sideline. That's the 5th Illinois State turnover here. 7 minutes into this basketball game.
12-2 run over the last 4.5 minutes. Redbirds have got to figure something out, break this momentum, get a run of their own.
Oh, Mast is wide open on a nice feed from Kingsby, and Dan Muller wants timeout. So Bradley now on this bigger run now, 6-0 over the last 2 minutes and 14-2 over the last 4 minutes.
We saw right there, we saw the Bradley guards make a great pass fake to the corner, got that zone to shift, which opened up the passing lane inside. Inside there, he found Mass. Mass knew what to do with it, directly to the rim. That was set up by the guards out front, finished by Mass on the inside. I talked earlier about the inside-outside attack, the balance they have. That's what Bradley is flexing right now.
The Redbirds have had some troubles early in games getting things going, and again, that's the situation here. Down 12, 7 minutes into this one. Obviously, a lot of time left in this one, but right now they got to hold it. They've got to dig out of it. And Bradley, after a slow start, now shooting at 50%, 8 out of 16 from the floor.
Well, you mentioned the 5 turnovers for the Redbirds. That's led to a 2.5-minute drought in scoring. They've got to keep the ball without turning it over and get scoring opportunities, move it, swing it, make that defense have to shift side to side, attack the rim, find the open man. It sounds easy when I say it, but I know it's difficult because Bradley is, and we talked about how good they are on defense.
Fleming again. Works on Kent, lost the ball, but he was fouled. Probably a reach-in foul on Jason Kent here.
I like Fleming's aggressiveness. 3 times I've seen him with the ball. He's attacked the rim with a purpose. We see him here. He goes inside, goes up, draws a foul. Good balance that time. Good strength. Good job.
This week, Dan Muller said that he was really proud of the growth of this young man, Howard Fleming Jr., the freshman from Louisville. He had 2 starts earlier in the season against Loyola, but it's just been really a reserve player, still kind of learning the college game. But I agree with you. In the last week or so, you can see that his game is growing.
Well, there he's playing with confidence. 6'5" point guard. He's going to be a contributor to the program, no question on that. He is going to have a good career.
Redbirds are going to get the ball back after the free throw was missed, but tipped out of bounds by the Braves. This is Boyd now. Fleming again. Aggressive to the paint, looking for help. He finds Mahortic, who backs in on Rink Mast. He turns off the glass and scores. First points of the night for Mahortic, and we've got a timeout. Mast may have been bumped in the nose.
I think he did most definitely. I believe there's blood coming from it. We're too far away to see it, but we'll possibly on this replay as we see here on the screen. He stepped into Mahorcic, and Mahorcic was headed towards the rim in the process. His nose got flattened. It was a basketball move, aggressive defense, aggressive offense, nothing intentional. He'll be okay. Is it his nose or his lip?
Yeah, a little more like his nose there. It's another look at the play.
See if we can see when it popped. Right there.
Yeah, got an elbow.
Boy, there probably isn't anybody that's played, particularly post players that hadn't played the game, that hasn't had that happen to them multitude of times. Just another day at the office for a post player.
It's a great matchup there. A player from Serbia against a player from the Netherlands. There are 4 international players on each team here tonight. And we were laughing before the game. I mean, it's obviously basketball is such a worldwide game, and to see this great rivalry in Central Illinois have so many international students now a part of this. Bradley's had at least 4 international players in all 6 of the seasons that Brian Wardle has been head coach. You get a smile there from Rick Mast. And this is Illinois State actually having 4 international players on their roster. That's a program high for the Redbirds. But again, it's an international game, and so coaches are recruiting all over the world these days. The officials called that a basketball play, so there's no additional foul given on that, kind of an incidental contact. So we're back to live action now.
The officials and I agreed on something.
We're going to write that one down. East driving and flipping it in. Sean East.
Nice soft touch, laid it off the glass with a feather finish.
It's the first points of the night for East. Now Horn splits the double team, but before he can get the shot off, he's fouled, and we're going to have a timeout on the floor. 11:35 to go, first half. It's Bradley 18 and Illinois State 7 here on Marquee. Toyota, let's go places. Kurt Pegler, Bob Morris with you here at Redbird Arena. It's I-74 rivalry matchup number 1 of the season between the two schools, with Bradley leading 18-7. The Braves lead the all-time series 68-62. Again, this is meeting number 131 between the two schools, and the Braves have won the last 5, including an overtime win here the last time they met last February. That was a 74-71 decision. It's been a streaky series. Bradley won 6 in a row when Jim Les was the head coach between 2005 and 2008, that stretch there. ISU then won 7 in a row under Tim Jankovic. ISU had an 8-game winning streak in the series under Dan Muller, and now it's a 5-game win streak for the Braves under Brian Wardle. It used to be that these teams seemingly would split the home games 1-1, but now it's a little streaky this time, and a block shot there from Childs. This is Kingsby with a kick out.
That's what he does really well, is find open players.
Kent had an open look but couldn't knock down the 3. Wide open. Mahortic down low, and he's going to flip it in, and he's fouled a 3-point opportunity.
Great pass inside right there from Howard Fleming. You'll see Mahortic knows how to finish and draw the foul. You're going through traffic down here. You're going to get hit. You've got to be able to finish, and he did. I respect that in his game. He's brought something to the Birds that was badly needed on the inside play this year. And when you go against a player such as Elijah Childs, you know you're going to have to be on your A game. We saw the block by Child on the previous possession the Redbirds had. Looked like an easy lay-in, and then boom. Not so.
Redbirds staying in their zone, and on the back door, Braves ran a nice play. Terry Nolan couldn't complete the pass, though, but Bradley maintains possession. Now down low, it's Rink Mast and flipped it in.
Yeah, that's just great ball movement against the zone. They get the zone moving, and then they sneak a guy in on that baseline behind the back 3 and find him every time. The bloody nose didn't stop him from scoring.
6 points for Rink Mast in his first Illinois State-Bradley matchup game. This shot is corralled by Childs. This is Thomas now in the front court for the Braves. We got a 10-point Bradley lead, but we got a whistle away from play under the basket.
You know, I've talked about Childs on the inside, and they've had such good inside play this season. You know, Jashawn Henry not available to play tonight, but those two have combined the last couple of games and have really been good. Last weekend, for example, against Evansville, points in the paint, they outscored Evansville 70-28. That's just phenomenal.
Nolan driving and like he drew some contact, but they say play on, and so the Redbirds come away with it. It's a 3-on-3. Fleming may have walked. Yes, he did.
Experience. He's got to gain experience. In high school, he was able to blow by that last guy in the last line of defense. This level, that guy's good. And he's not blowing by him, so he's got to be under control. He might require a jump stop and kick out. He's got to read the defense and understand it a little bit better. He'll learn it. He'll get there.
Childs from the other side of the floor. This time he scored his points from the right side there. This time he missed that shot there from the left. 2010, Bradley's lead as we're under 10 minutes to go here in this first half.
Got a mismatch if they can find it inside.
Sits strong, giving it up. Clippers are going to get it back. Too strong. Who knocked it down this time?
First three-pointer of the night. And there's what happens when you're not paying attention.
Childs quickly down the floor.
You better believe that Bradley's scout report said Evansville beat him back. You run hard. If the post players run hard, they're going to get a chance to score.
be an illegal screen against the Redbirds here. That's going to be on Jive. His first personal. He leaves the game, and Alex Kodoff comes in to replace him.
Number 1, Dedrick Boyd.
And we're going to see Dedrick Boyd come back in, too. He's the guy that can provide some instant offense for the Redbirds, and he's really going to have to maybe inject a little life into the offense for Illinois State.
Well, he's going to. You're right. And he hadn't even attempted a shot yet this evening. He's got to find a way to get himself to be part of the offense.
Kodoff with a steal now. The Redbirds back down the floor. This is Strong. Here's Reeves, little floater, and it's going to send her to the free throw line.
Good job once again, going to the rim.
Friendly foul charge to number 4, Terry Miller Jr. His first personal 5th team foul.
Good dump off right here, finding Reeves making a cut. Reeves takes it right to the rim. Draws the foul.
Reeves, the sophomore from Chicago, played his last year of high school basketball at famed Simeon High School. He played at Shadow Mountain High School his junior season. That's in Arizona. He played for a guy named Mike Bibby, who had a 14-year NBA career, and said that Bibby really taught him a lot, especially shooting from the perimeter, and he just still keeps in touch with Mike Bibby. He said he just really lit a fire under him, and he helped that team win a state championship in Arizona.
If you want to learn from somebody that knows what they're talking about, that might not be a bad. He likes to use, and it just kind of slows the offensive attack down. Doesn't necessarily go for steals. He's trying to control tempo.
Taven puts it on the floor and just tried to slip the pass down low, and the Redbirds come away with a steal.
Good motion that time. Good
to
movement.
Boyd, to Reeves, missed the shot, tipped it back up on his second attempt. Bradley did a nice job of recovering defensively to come down and alter the shot. And now it's going to be Nolan with the miss. The long rebound comes out to Taven.
That's too bad that Reeves couldn't finish that, because the Birds have done a nice job on defense, pushed it hard on offense, got a good look, just couldn't finish. But credit Bradley, when he does miss, that got the rebound, they took it right back.
Sissoko high up to get that rebound off the Taven miss. Strong trying to create, lost the dribble, looking for some help. This is Boyd now on the rotation.
Credit Bradley's defense. They're contesting every shot that ISU has. They're being physical, but without fouling.
Loose ball is tracked down in the corner by Thomas. He may have turned it over by stepping on the sideline. And it looks like that is the case. So the Illinois State basketball, when we come back, 7:10 to go till halftime. Bradley 22 and Illinois State 15 here at Redbird Arena. Young lady on the Illinois State women's basketball team, Mary Crompton. She's a sophomore guard who is 4th in the country in three-point shooting percentage at 53%. That's impressive enough, but let us tell you a little bit more about this great student athlete. Physiology, neuroscience, and behavior is her major with a minor in chemistry. She's a Bone Scholar for the 2021 school year. That's the highest undergraduate honor you can have at Illinois State. Only 14 students on a campus of 20,000 get that, and she's helping administer COVID tests for all of the student athletes here at Illinois State. They're testing 3 times a week. So she's an honor roll student who's a Division I college basketball player and assisting with the testing. Amazing.
That truly is. That's amazing. When does she find time to do all of that? My question, because she's also lifting and studying and doing. My goodness, that's a motivated young lady.
Got to graduate in 3 years on top of it. It's really an amazing resume that she's putting together. 7-point Bradley lead Illinois State the basketball. There's 7 minutes to go here in this opening half. This is Fleming, who gives it up to Strong. His fadeaway's in.
Good patience that time by the Redbirds on offense. Found a good wide open mid-range shot. One thing, Bradley hasn't scored from the 3-point yet, Kurt. Usually that's a strength of theirs.
Yeah, the Braves are 0-6 from beyond the arc, and the Redbirds are 1 of 6, so neither team really lighting it up from 3-point land here so far tonight. This is Childs at the baseline, and the miss is cleared by Fleming. Fleming behind a screen from Mahortich, and he knocks that one down. And so Howard Fleming Jr. is really playing with some confidence. The freshman off the bench, playing well for the Redbirds. He's got 5 now.
Well, Coach Mahler, as you said, was really pleased with the maturity and the development that he was seeing out of Howard Fleming. And I think we're witnessing it right here in this first half. He's been the big boost for the Redbirds.
And now a steal. Josiah Strong jumps the passing lane, works on Kingsby, who swatted it out of bounds. He timed his jump perfectly to come away with a block shot, but the Redbirds are going to have possession of it.
Let's watch this here, and we'll see it all happen. We'll see the steal and a perfectly timed block, as you said. Credit Bradley on that one. They did not give up, got back, and swatted it. Redbirds do retain possession, but could have been an easy lay-in.
Redbirds have clawed back into this one here. This is Mahortich. And Strong now from a screen behind Mahortich. DJ Horn, his 3 is in, and it's a tie basketball game. The Redbirds have erased a 14-point deficit. We're even at 22.
Excellent job on offense. A lot of movement on the one side. They reversed the ball to the right side wing. DJ Horn wide open, knocks it down.
Brian Warder wants to talk things over. The Redbirds on a 12-2 run over a 4-minute stretch here and have pulled even.
Kurt, you mentioned how the series had been a series of streaks. This game is obviously becoming a game of streaks.
First make of the night now for DJ Horn. The 3-pointer. He's Illinois State's leading scorer at 13 points a game. Sophomore from Raleigh, North Carolina. One of the top freshmen in the league a year ago, and really thrust into a leadership role as a sophomore here.
Well, and when he lets the game come to him, as he did in that last possession, he's a really good basketball player. Sometimes because of the youth and inexperience of the team, he feels the need to try to do a little more maybe than he should, and that doesn't always work out to his best. When he just lets the game happen and come to him in the flow of things like we just saw, he knocks down shots regularly. He's a good player.
Nolan's deep 3 is in, and there's their first Bradley 3-point make of the night. It comes at the 5-minute mark, so the Braves don't hit a 3-point shot in the first 15 minutes of action, but get one from Nolan and have the lead back.
Nolan found that crease in that zone, and they got him the ball and immediately knew what to do with it.
Strong with a difficult pass in traffic. Reeves drives, he gets his rebound, but can't finish. It's cleared by Childs. Kent lost it on the floor. It's Fleming who comes away with it, and now a reach-in foul on Kent. He's trying to get it back.
Boy, there's a lot of energy going on the Redbirds bench and sideline right now. They're fired up over there, and understandably so. The last 5 minutes, they've controlled the ball game.
Bradley did a great job of protecting the basketball for the first 10 or 12 minutes of this one, but now Bradley's got 5 turnovers in the last 5 minutes, so the Redbird defense has kind of turned it up a notch on the Braves.
That zone has gotten more active. The hands are in the passing lanes. You nailed it. A lot more active. Bradley has stuck the entire game with their man-to-man.
Got another whistle away from action. This time it's against the Braves. I believe it's going to go against Childs. So that's going to put Illinois State at the free throw line for 1-1. Mahortich is going to go to the line. That's the first foul on Childs, 7th on the team. 1-1 time now for Mahortich. Junior from Belgrade, Serbia. He came to the United States about 4 years ago. He turned down a chance to turn professional in his home country when he was 16. He said he wanted to get a college education and come to the States. He went to Chicago. He was at Notre Dame College Prep. He was at Lewis. He was at Moberly Area Community College, and now at Illinois State.
He's been a shot in the arm for the Redbirds, no question.
Childs down to
great
Mast. Rimmed out.
Wow.
Mast from point-blank range could knock it in. Horn, little
great
stutter
take.
step. And we're even again.
Got that stutter step, got the defender on his hip. Boom, blew by him, finished.
So Horn now with 5 points in the last 90 seconds. He's kind of come to life here.
Well, the Redbirds, I'll give them credit. They were struggling, and they regrouped on the defensive end, and they've generated their energy from their defense to create better looks on offense.
Yeah, that Redbird bench, everybody standing up, everybody kind of giving the offense a little shot in the arm here. There's a lot of activity going on down there. The Redbirds have an opportunity for their first lead of the night. Three on the shot clock.
Good
and
defense.
Mast comes in and takes away the ball on a steal.
Redbirds got stagnant on offense. Mast read it beautifully and took it away.
And a good first step again from Childs. He's got that explosive move on the baseline. He beat the defender and laid it in. And he's the first player in double figures now. 10 points for Elijah Childs.
It had been a while since he had taken a shot, and they got to keep him involved in their offense. When he's involved, good things happen. Oh, look at this.
Fleming on the nice feed from Mahortich.
Tell you what, Fleming has had a phenomenal first half.
Childs steps inside. He thought about the three. He's been shooting it from out there. He's going to get his own rebound and score.
What a workhorse. He's talking to his teammates going back on defense. He's fired up. He understands the rivalry. Seniors do.
He averages 14.5 points a game. He's already at 12 here in the opening half at Redbird Arena. 2-point Braves advantage. Fadeaway. Tough shot from Strong.
Don't like that shot selection. They've been doing such a good job of moving the ball.
Tavanainen. He got a nice feed. He was under the basket. He flipped it up and in. Sean East again with the recognition of an open player.
Once again, the Redbirds get caught napping, going back on defense and give up an easy lay-in.
Bradley's answered Illinois State's little push. Reclaim the lead. This is Strong from the corner. He missed the shot. Mahortich, an offensive rebound. Another look. It's going to be Reeves from beyond the arc. His shot off the front of the rim. Quickly back up the floor is Sean East, but he's going to be reached in from behind. It's going to be a foul on Mahortich, and we've got a timeout on the floor with 1:15 to play here in our first half. (31-27) Bradley the lead. Illinois State fresh off a 14-2 run to tie the game. Howard Fleming Jr., freshman from Louisville, has really given Illinois State a nice boost here off the bench.
Well, he most certainly has. He's got 7 points, and he has done a good job of with 2 assists. He's finding open players. He's been a spark plug on the defensive side for him. He's just really been a shot in the arm that they needed about midway through that first half.
You've seen Dedrick Boy now is back in this basketball game now for Illinois State. As we approach the final minute of this first half, Ville Tavanainen still looking for his first three-point shot.
You know, I talked about rebounding being an important factor for Illinois State, and they're hanging right with them. It's 18-18 on the board right now.
7 to shoot. And there's Horn.
That's a big bucket right there for the Birds right before halftime. This is a, never-ending game of big opportunities, and getting a stop here as they created another turnover. That's huge.
Yeah.
Now they can hold for basically the last shot. There's 1 second difference, but Redbirds wish they can hold for the last shot.
Make sure to stick around for stats, highlights, and more during our halftime report presented by Country Financial. That's coming up in 31 seconds of clock time. Redbirds down a point with the basketball. There's a 1 second differential between the game clock and the shot clock here.
Coach Wardle comment in the paper was, when rivalries take place, you throw the records out. And I think he was a prophet in that one, because I don't think a lot of people saw this first half happening in this manner.
Redbirds content to hold for the final shot here. Horn looking for help. Now it's Strong. 2 on the shot clock. Deep 3. And so the Braves defense comes up with a stop, and they'll head to the locker room with a 31-30 advantage on Illinois State here at Redbird Arena. Bradley 31, Illinois State 30. Our halftime report presented by Country Financial is up next here on the Marquee Sports Network. Report presented by Country Financial. It's Bradley 31 and Illinois State 30 here at Redbird Arena. Halftime. Let's take a look at some of our highlights from the first half of action here at Redbird Arena. The Braves started out on fire, so to speak, because they jumped out to a quick lead. They were scoring in the paint at will on Illinois State early on. Braves got a nice lift off the bench from Darius Hanna, 6 points in a reserve role. Then the Redbirds finally kind of got things going. Dusan Mahorsic with a nice first half as well for Illinois State. Redbirds got a nice lift from freshman Howard Fleming Jr., and that opened up things on the perimeter for both DJ Horn and Josiah Strong. Fleming gave them good minutes. That's Bradley's first 3 of the game, and the only 3. Terry Nolan from outside, but right now the man doing all the damage for the Braves is Elijah Childs, the all-conference player, has 12 points in that first half.
He's been a force. He was, he's the one that they had to watch for when they come in, and he's proven himself. Like you said, he's got 12 points. He's averaging 14 and a half. He's exceeding expectations at this point.
Take a look at the numbers in this first half of action again. Bradley with the 1-point halftime lead. The 3-point field goal percentage is a little shocking from both ends. As we mentioned, that both teams have done well so far this year in shooting the 3, but the Braves have yet to attempt a free throw. The Redbirds have been to the foul line 7 times. They made 5 out of their 7, so that's been a plus. And it's been dead even on the boards, and that was a big storyline that we said before the game. Watch the rebounding numbers.
I agree totally on that. The rebounding, I think, has been the story of the first half. The Birds did not back down physically from the Braves, and I think it has really prevented Bradley from getting very many. They had 5 or 6 early, like in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game, and they have settled things down. And I think that's when Howard Fleming became a factor in the game. He calmed down that offense and took control of it, which I think is what the Redbird offense is looking for. That true point guard, which I think Fleming brings to his presence. He is that. He's a true point guard at 6'5", and he really controlled things in that first half. Childs is still the story. He's been the stud, and the Redbirds don't have an answer for him. And if they can find him more often, the Braves, I think it's going to be hard for the Birds to control him in the second half.
Yeah, points in the paint there, 22-12 in favor of Bradley, and they've got a 31-30 lead here at the half. Our Country Financial halftime report continues in a moment here on Marquee Sports Network. Let's take a look around the Missouri Valley Conference presented by Toyota, our out-of-town Toyota scoreboard. The Evansville Indiana State game postponed because of positive COVID tests in the Evansville program. The Aces just played in Peoria against Bradley, and Indiana State just left here. They had a 2-game series against Illinois State, and those 2 teams scheduled to play tonight, they won't. And Loyola just absolutely hammered Valparaiso in the other game, 75-39. Loyola will be in Peoria to take on Bradley here this weekend. That'll be a big series in the Missouri Valley standings. And again, the Braves have a 1-point lead on the Redbirds here at halftime. Take a look at our standings now, up-to-date standings in the Missouri Valley Conference. Again, Drake has been on pause for a little bit. The Bulldogs still one of the only unbeaten teams left in the country at 13-0 and 4-0 in the league. Missouri State, Loyola at 5-1, and Bradley at 3-1 there. Those top 4 teams trying to separate themselves from the rest of the Missouri Valley Conference. Still obviously early in the season, another month and a half left to go before we're in St. Louis for Arch Madness. 31-30. Bradley with a 1-point lead at the half. More on our Country Financial halftime report in just a moment. To start the second half, but before we do, let's revisit our keys to the game. This matchup between Bradley and Illinois State. We start with a visiting team. The keys to the game for the Braves.
Well, for the Braves, I talk about the inside-outside offense, and they certainly controlled the inside when they had the ball with 22 points scored in the paint, but the outside has been lacking for the Braves. And I think you got to credit that zone defense for slowing down the Bradley attack in that. I think also Bradley's defense controlled the first 10 minutes of the half when ISU was on offense, but I think ISU, the insertion of Howard Fleming, I think made a big difference. I think he kind of figured things out and took control, and Bradley's defense wasn't controlling things like they had early in the game. Illinois State, strong rebounding efforts. They're tight. I think that's a major plus for them. 69 points might be a stretch for them to get to tonight, but you never know.
And Howard Fleming, you're seeing he's coming out to start this second half, and he gave the Redbirds a nice lift off that Illinois State bench. He played 13 minutes. He scored 7 points, and it's earned him a second half start. The Braves will begin the second half with the basketball, and we are underway here at Redbird Arena. Second half action. The Braves begin the half with their same 5 that started the game.
They're wanting to get it inside the Child, but Mahorchik is really making it difficult for him to have the opportunity to get it.
Mast works on Mahorchik. Missed the shot. Reeves clears.
Good defensive effort right there by the Birds. Very active tonight out of that zone.
We've got a foul against Illinois State. It looked like maybe Horn fighting through the screen.
Or was it the screen being an illegal one?
And they do whistle Horn on the foul. That's his first.
Okay.
This is Mast from the corner, and his 3 rattles out.
Boy, that disappointed him. He thought he had that one. Shaking his head going back down the floor.
Braves now 1 of 9 from beyond the arc here tonight. Now Horn from the other corner for Illinois State. He's missed. But Hortich keeps it alive.
Good job rebounding on the offense to give the Redbirds a second chance opportunity.
Reeves is in. Pull-up jumper from beyond just a step inside the arc. The Redbirds have a lead, 32-31. Quickly down the floor, the Braves trying to reclaim it. Just shot that time. Here comes Illinois State now back up the floor. It's Reeves from the corner. Shawnee brings it back up now. Game was tied in the first half, but the Redbirds have the lead by a point. They were down 14 at one point early on, and now a steal. Redbirds come away with it. Strong all the way down. He flipped it up. He missed the shot. The follow was good, but there was a whistle before that follow.
That 2-3 zone the Birds are throwing at the Braves right now has really got them baffled. You saw an uncharacteristic turnover right there at the top of the key that led to this breakout. That you just don't see Bradley commit those kind of errors very often. I also think Bradley is missing Jashawn Henry and his presence that he brings at 6'6", 230. That's another inside player. It shortens their bench quite a bit when you don't have him. They already have the big fella that's walking around in a boot.
Yeah, Ari Boya.
He's not available. And Kevin McAdoo has left the program for some personal family reasons. So they've kind of shortchanged themselves on reserves right now. So I think the rotation is bothering them, and it's really taking its toll out there.
Yeah, McAdoo's on a temporary leave. So they'll hope to have him back at some point. They hope to have, obviously, Boya and Henry back from their injuries. Henry with a concussion, practiced yesterday, and Ari Boya's walking around with a boot on his foot. This from Tavanina. The Redbirds have their largest lead of the game at 3 and the basketball. Now it's Horn behind the screen, and he knocks it down. And so DJ Horn, who was quiet for the first about 16 minutes of this basketball game, now has 11 points, and he's done all that damage in the final 4 minutes of the first half and the opening 3 minutes here in the second half.
Bradley needs to find a way to get Mr. Childs involved again.
Rick Mast has got position on Mahortich, and shot it in.
Used his body well there to keep Mahorsic from being a factor.
8 points now for Mast. Early in the game, got a bloody nose on an elbow from Mahorsic. Physical game down low between those two. Now Mahorsic trying to work on Mast. Takes him to the basket. He got his missed shot. Now
That was a great individual effort right there.
Strong out top. Trying to reload the offense here. He's one-on-one with Tevin Iman. 5 on the shot clock. This is Fleming. He's got to penetrate, and it was wiped out of there. It was Elijah Childs.
Yeah. He makes his presence known. Stepped out of bounds.
We've seen both teams do that here tonight. Step on the sideline and turn the basketball over. Darius Hannah's going to come back in now for Bradley. Gave the Braves some good minutes in the first half, and Dedrick Boyd now is coming in for Illinois State.
A lot of energy on the bench from Illinois State. Not so much on the Bradley end.
Redbirds have opened the half on a 7-2 run. It's going to be Horn again, and he knocked it down.
He is feeling
over Elijah Childs, who stepped out on defense.
He just got a technical also. And I'm not certain on this technical. This one, I'm not. He's pleading his case. He wasn't taunting anybody. He was looking at his own bench. I hope the replay shows this, because I don't think the young man was taunting anyone. He's looking over at the ISU bench. You can see it in his eyes. He's not looking at Childs, and they got T right there for that action. Well, if you try to take emotion out of the game, then what are we doing playing the game? That's silly.
This is Tevin Iman at the free throw line now. He missed the first one. Made the second. So the foul on Horn also goes in the personal foul column.
Correct.
Which is now his third, and that could be significant.
Oh, yes. Very much so.
He stays on the floor. Bradley with the basketball now. Illinois State with a 6-point advantage. And a whistle. And this might be on Alex Kodoff, and he and Elijah Childs were kind of tangled up underneath, and it appears that it is. We've got a timeout on the floor. Illinois State on a 10-3 run to open the second half. First lead of the game for the Redbirds, 40-34 here on Bradley. Here's DJ Horn, who, as we mentioned, had a very quiet first probably 16 minutes of this game, but has scored 14 points in the last maybe 4 or 5 moments of the minutes of the first half, and now in the first 4 minutes of the second half. 14 points, 2 rebounds, but again, 3 fouls now after that technical foul.
Questionable technical foul, but it still goes in the book. Got to turn the page, move on. Don't let it affect how he plays. Continue on. Got to show some maturity. Bradley, you got to regroup. They have inserted back into the lineup Darius Hannah, who was a big boost in the first half. Got him 3 consecutive field goals. Being aggressive, going to the bucket, just like he is right there.
Tried to dunk on Kodoff, but he was fouled, so Darius Hannah will go to the free throw line. Hannah and Jason Kent are both on the floor right now. Those are freshmen for the Braves.
Hannah has the same move. He's going to give you a quick shot fake on that little pump, and he's going left. Take away his left hand if I'm a Redbird defender. Let's see if he can beat me going right, because he has gone left each time he's got it.
Hannah has really struggled at the foul line, 2 out of 15 for the season.
He's got, like you said, he's got a really quick first step.
Now Boyd quickly up the floor. It's Antonio Reeves in the corner. Again, the Redbirds working on Bradley's man-to-man defense. That's Josiah Strong knocking down a fadeaway jumper.
Good looking shot. In rhythm, on balance, in his range, obviously.
9 points for Strong. He's a 12-point per night player. And now a missed shot from Kent. The Redbirds bring it back down the floor with an 8-point advantage. Momentum has changed in this one. Strong again, this time from 3. Missed it, long rebound. Is controlled by Bradley. Was Nolan who went and got it. Now it's East back in the front court. East flipped it up and in. Worked his way to the paint.
Got himself in the middle of the lane. Typically good things happen when you get in there. You can get the ball that deep, something positive is going to happen. And he just executed it. Oh, what a quick step.
Reeves drew contact as he went to the rim there, but you're right, he had that explosive first step to work his way to the paint. Foul is on Kent, and Reeves to the free throw line.
We'll see the blow by here on the replay. Joom. Creates the contact, draws the foul.
When these teams met last February, remember that game went to overtime, but Reeves barely left the floor. He played 39 minutes in that game a year ago. And he's probably not going to quite get there tonight, but he's already played 21 minutes here tonight. He's the guy that has worked himself into the starting lineup. He was on the all-bench team last year in the Valley, but he's started all but one game here this year. So he's graduated from a reserve role a year ago to a starter's role this year. And he leaves the floor after a couple of made free throws, and Howard Fleming Jr. back in now for Illinois State.
Illinois State has a poise and composure about them to offensively tonight, and an aggressiveness on their defense that I haven't seen a lot of all season.
Nolan the miss, and the Braves continue to be ice cold from beyond the arc. Now it's Fleming quickly back up the floor for Illinois State. He nearly lost it, but he got it back. Strong penetrates all the way down. Missed the shot though. Cleared by Mast.
Little high-low action.
And it's turned away. It was Sissoko got his hand on the pass.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
And now it's Dedrick Boyd for 3. His first make of the night. Looks like Brian Warner wants timeout as soon as his team crosses the timeline. He wants to talk this one over. The Redbirds suddenly have an 11-point advantage. They've outscored Bradley 17-5 in the second half. Illinois State 47, Bradley 36 with 13:24 to go here at Redbird Arena. Here in the second half, they've scored 17 of the first 22 points of this half, and doing the damage really from the outside. Antonio Reeves and DJ Horde, Dedrick Boyd, all knocking down threes here to fuel this Redbird surge.
Well, they have been. This has been they rely on their guards. The Redbirds do a lot of times to do their scoring. But tonight, they're getting shots that are wide open. I don't want to say they're easy, but they're staying in the flow of the offense, and they're taking shots from the offense. They're not trying to over-dribble and create on their own and do as much one-on-one. They're letting it come to them without trying to be the ones that force the action.
It's Fleming with a steal ahead to Boyd now. The Braves are trying to go inside to Childs, and it was intercepted by Fleming, who's having a whale of a game for Illinois State.
Where you can bet during the timeout, Bradley said they needed to get the ball back into the hands of Elijah Childs, and you better believe that ISU said they're going to try to do that, and Fleming went and stole it. Anticipated the entry pass.
Sissoko tracks down the long rebound off another missed three-point attempt for the Braves. Bradley 1 of 14 from beyond the arc here tonight.
Last Sunday against Evansville, they were 10 of 20, shooting 50%.
Josiah Strong, another fadeaway. That's it. He's hit a couple of those tonight.
Bradley just can't get a flow on offense here. They just seem to like this.
And a steal from Strong. And he's down the floor but blocked.
Oh,
it was
great
Nolan
hustle.
who came through, and it's a clean block. And now the Braves back in transition.
Great hustle by Nolan. Once again, not giving up.
And he makes good on the three, so he makes a great defensive play on one end and knocks down his second three-pointer of the night. The only player right now to hit a three for the Braves.
Bradley has gone to a zone. They went out of their man-to-man. They were getting defeated too much out of their man-to-man, and their zone creates a turnover on the first time they show it.
It was East that knocked that one away, a deflected pass and a steal, and now it's Childs. Missed the shot, but Hortich clears for Illinois State.
Childs didn't anticipate getting that ball. He looked surprised when it came to him, and he wasn't balanced and set when he shot the thing in. Looks like an extended 3-2 for Bradley. Something new and different that hasn't been seen yet this game. Now let's see if the Redbirds can adjust and get his own offense going. You got to find the gaps and get the ball in the hands of the shooters and quickly.
2 on the shot clock. A deep three. That's a bailout three for Josiah Strong, who just had that layup blocked, and then he turns around and knocks down a three as the shot clock was expiring. He's got 14 points now, and Josiah Strong, a bailout three goes down, and the Red a three-pointer as the shot clock was expiring to give Illinois State a 15-point advantage. The Redbirds looked a little stagnant on this offensive possession, trying to make something happen. He just knocked down that three from about 2 steps beyond the arc.
Well, that's a deflating thing to the defense, too. When you feel like you've done your job and somebody, as you said, hits a bailout three-pointer, that's really deflating, but it's really a boost to the Redbirds.
Antonio Thomas has entered the game for the Braves. Sean East tried to hit a little floater in the lane of Hortich again, comes down with it.
Redbirds have made 4 out of their last 5 field goal attempts.
And now Hortich works down on Rick Mass, missed the shot. Loose ball is corralled by Childs of the Braves.
Good job of taking his man to the hole, just couldn't finish it. Once again, Childs has disappeared here for the Braves. They got to find ways to get him more active. Here he is with it. Oh, good pass.
He finds Mass down low, who had the ball knocked out of his hands. Hortich swats it out of there, and now it's Horn in the front court. His runner is in. He was working on Antonio Thomas and scored. Horn with 16 now to lead the way.
The Birds are playing with such confidence right now.
There's Child on the back door on the feed. Yeah, from Sean East. He sees the floor very well. He found him there and he flipped it in. First points of the second half now for Child. He's got 14 on the game.
Bradley sticking with this zone.
Boyd with the extra pass from the corner to an open teammate, but the 3-ball from Horn is no good.
A lot of time on the clock.
Down the lane, couldn't get the shot to roll in, so Illinois State clears it out. Horn goes one-on-one with East and knocks down the jumper.
I think he's feeling it. Wow. He wants the ball.
And he's 7 of 12 from the field. At 18-point night, he's played 20 minutes. He's had quite the night after a slow start. And again, Bradley calls timeout. Horn with 18 and Strong with 14. 32 points from that Redbird backcourt. 32 of the team's 58. And the Redbird lead is 17.
I don't even know what to say. I didn't see this one coming to this degree, Kurt. And credit all to the Redbirds offense. They're playing with such confidence out there. This, I think, is what the Redbird staff had hoped and was telling people. This is what this team is capable of. This is what they can do. And it just hadn't happened yet. And what a night for it to happen against their rival, the Bradley Braves. Bradley, on the other hand, it's like they've been punched in the nose and they can't get up off the mat right now. They've had opportunities at good looks. The ball rattles around and comes out.
In the game for the first time is Connor Linke. He missed the shot, but it was followed in by Hanna, again, who has played well here for the Braves tonight.
He has been a real boost. As a freshman coming off the bench, he's done an excellent job for the Braves.
Horn's going to try and create here around the screen from Kodoff. Now down to Kodoff, but he's fouled as he tried to finish with a jam.
Oh, what an excellent pass that was. I'll tell you what, Kodoff is kind of an unsung hero for the Birds tonight. We'll see on this replay, great hands, and he almost finished the dunk, but he got fouled in the process, wasn't able to. But Kodoff is one that has struggled to find his role on this team and what it is he can and can't do. But tonight, again, it all seems to be falling in place for the Birds.
Kodoff is one of the international players on the floor from Moscow. Played junior college basketball in the state of Florida, Palm Beach State and Daytona State before he came here to Illinois State, but he can't make either of the free throws. And so we're at the 8-minute mark now in Illinois State with a 58-43 advantage. Hanna in and out of his hands. Another turnover, and the Redbirds now come back with it. That's the 12th turnover for Bradley. Horn, fade away. Boy, that's been a go-to shot for the Redbird guards.
He's got that little spin with the fadeaway, and it just velvets off when it goes up.
A 20-point night now for DJ Horn, sophomore from Raleigh, North Carolina.
This zone for the Birds has just been overly active. I know I keep saying that, but it's been such a story in this game, their defensive effort tonight.
Charge number 25.
Darius Hanna's going to have free throws when we come back, but Illinois State has a 17-point lead with 7:22 to go here at Redbird Arena.
We have a timeout on the floor.
The Evansville Indiana State game was postponed due to positive COVID tests in the Evansville program. Loyola improved to 6-1 in the league with a 75-39 win at Valparaiso. And then this game here is now 60-43 in the second half with 7:22 to play. You know, sometimes stats can lie. The Braves came in second in the country, holding teams to shooting at 36.8%. And allowing just 61.5 points per game. That's number 22 in the country right now. The Redbirds are shooting 10% better than what Bradley typically allows. The Redbirds are shooting at 46% and are already at 60 points. And Bradley's offense, 75 points per game in league play, had been clicking right along. And as you mentioned, Bob, the zone is really throwing them a curveball here tonight.
Well, the player that they rely on so much, and understandably so, is Elijah Childs. And he's just a tremendous player. But in this second half, when there's 7 minutes, just over 7 minutes to go, he's got 2 points in the second half and 2 rebounds only. And again, credit the Redbird defense for that.
And again, the Braves playing without one of their top subs, and Deshaun Henry, who's in concussion protocol. Hot hand is Horn. His shot rims off. Cleared by Hanna. Bradley quickly back up the floor.
And here's the layup.
It's Nolan. He's fouled. He was attacking from the left. And the foul will go on DJ Horn. That'll be his 4th, if that's on him.
Nope,
it's actually going to be on Sissoko.
Team foul. Terry Nolan Jr. for the Braves. Shooting 2.
Once again, a foul that was created because of the lack of hustle just to get back on defense. Those are the kind of errors that you can't allow to happen. If you're going to upset an opponent, and win a game and finish it appropriately. You can't let them do that. You can't let them beat you back.
Childs, after a quick breather, is back in the game for Bradley. Boyd is back in the floor now, replacing Josiah Strong for Illinois State. Both foul shots are missed, but it's Childs who goes and gets it, so they're going to have another opportunity to score. Mahortich is on the floor. The ball was knocked out, and the Redbirds are going to get away with it. But Mahortich was on the floor. It looked like holding his ankle, and he's still a little gimpy down on the offensive end now, looking to the bench. Not sure what happened. He got tangled up after the missed free throw. This is Reeves. Antonio Reeves' shot is no good. Long rebound out to Daniel.
3-on-1 break. Oh, boy, Bradley. Bradley had the numbers and then overthrew the pass.
But Nolan knocks down a three, so Bradley does make the best out of a situation like that. They closed within 13 here.
Showing some three-quarter court pressure.
This is Boyd now. He gives it up. Horn for three, and he knocked it down to equal the three that the defense just gave up.
He is on fire.
23 points now for DJ Horn. Can Nolan answer? He can.
Yes.
Terry Nolan is really the only guy that's making any three-point shot attempts here now for the Braves. Five and a half left in this one. Here's Mahortich now. Going to give him the open shot from the foul line. Missed it. Sissoko went and got it for Illinois State.
Good decision there to pull the ball back out, get regrouped, continue doing what you've been doing.
Boyd.
And there it is.
He doesn't need much room. Catch and shoot. Dedrick Boyd now has knocked down a couple of threes.
They have found the open spots in that zone on the perimeter and have been knocking down the threes to beat it.
Tavanainen. Long rebound. Can the Redbirds save it? They do. Horn doing it on the defensive end as well.
What a great effort right there. Bradley had that rebound and Horn just knocked it free. Was going out of bounds. Great effort to keep it in play. Bradley's gone back to man-to-man.
Boyd's three is missed and is cleared by Nolan. Quickly back up the floor. Childs in transition. He can't get it to go, and Orchard would be wise to hand the ball to a guard.
Yes. Yes, very good decision. I don't think he's on the floor because of his ball handling skills. Now, what Illinois State needs to do is
Reeves had an opportunity for a three-point play. They just about took the words right off your tongue there.
Yes, they
on
did.
the attack.
They don't want to fall in love with the three-point play and start chucking up nothing but threes when you have a sizable lead like this. You want to attract, draw fouls. And Tony Reeves, textbook.
Reeves says he is more comfortable at the perimeter, but he is not afraid to put it on the deck and drive the basketball.
He's got the length. So when he does go in there with his wingspan, he can get the ball out and over people. And he is quick.
That one rolls in. An 11-point night for Antonio Reeves and a 19-point Illinois State lead at the 4-minute mark left in this one. Here's Nolan for three. Long rebound's going to come out to East. It's Kodoff who intercepted the pass intended for Childs.
Active in the passing lanes there. Kodoff, I tell you what, he has given some very positive minutes for the Redbirds tonight, especially on the defensive end and rebounding.
His stat line will not look great, but he has done some things defensively for sure.
Well, and it's earned him some playing time that he hadn't been getting.
Reeves had a nice penetration and dish to Kodoff, but we had a whistle before the pass, and we've got a timeout on the floor. Illinois State 69, Bradley 50, 3:28 to go here in Normal. Okay. We have a midweek game next week at Valparaiso. That's a rescheduled game that was postponed due to Valpo's COVID issues several weeks ago. And then Terre Haute to take on Indiana State, a team the Redbirds just saw here at Redbird Arena. Illinois State, the next four games for Dan Muller's team involve Valparaiso for 2 games here on Saturday and Sunday, games that we'll have with you here on Marquee Sports. And then the Redbirds travel to Drake to take on right now the team that's unbeaten and sitting on top of the Missouri Valley Conference standings the last day of January, the first day of February. Redbirds 3 minutes and 28 seconds away from what would certainly be their biggest victory of the season.
Well, I think that'd be safe to say, yes. They need to understand how to finish the game out. It's not about scoring points anymore. You've got enough points. And we talked about the magic number 69. Look what they're at. Every time they score 69 and above, they win.
It's Kodoff down the lane. He had the ball stripped, though. The Braves come away with a steal. Now it's Kingsby in the front court. Can he save it? He does, to Mast. Now Kingsby's going to try a 3. Will reward him. He hustled down to save the play, and then he knocked down the 3. And he's the first Bradley player not named Terry Nolan to make a 3 tonight.
To kind of finish my thought, what the Redbirds have to do to finish out this game is not. You haven't finished the game out. They haven't given you the W yet. There's still 2.5 minutes to go. You got to finish it out with basketball intelligence. Run clock, attack the rim.
I want to correct myself. Sean East also has a 3-point make for the Braves. Now it's Mast in and out of his hands and out of bounds, and the Redbirds are going to get it back. But Bradley has struggled from beyond the arc. 5 of 20 shooting from 3-point land. The Redbirds have cashed in 9 out of 23 from 3-point land.
The Redbirds, you saw Mahorchich replaces Koto.
Childs is not on the floor for the Braves.
Final 2 minutes left here at Redbird Arena. This is Strong now with it. 10 on the shot clock. The Redbirds trying to be patient here offensively. It's Fleming. Tries to sneak a pass down to Mahorchich, who
What a
laid
great
it in.
pass and great hands by Mahorchich. This, I believe, is Mahorchich's best game of the season also because of the opponent, the quality of the opponents that he has gone against tonight.
Jason Kent open for 3, and he knocks that one down. Just his 4th 3-point make of the year. Freshman from Oak Forest, suburban Chicago. Final 80 seconds of this one. Redbirds trying to spread the floor.
Just doing what they need to do to eat the clock up. Right now, that's the biggest opponent.
Reeves to Mahorchich down the lane. Couldn't finish, though.
Gotta finish that. Gotta finish that. He was right at the rim.
Now it's going to be Kingsby for 3. That's missed, but Mahorchich hustled all the way down and got the defensive rebound. Final minute now here. Now Bradley's 5-game winning streak in this I-74 rivalry will come to a close tonight. Dan Muller calls timeout. He wants to get a couple of subs in here. Looks like it's going to get Austin Andrews in. Andrews hasn't played in quite a while. In fact, he hasn't played since December the 28th, the game against Loyola.
Cleaning the bench.
He's going to get Nick Stadelman as a walk-on. Try to get them in this I-74 rivalry game. Of course, when you have fans in the stands, it really means something when you can say that. Not to say that it doesn't mean anything to get some minutes in the game, but that's always kind of a special moment if you can play in front of your fans in an intense rivalry game. We're also seeing Jay Johnson's first action since the Loyola game. Another Illinois State walk-on getting some minutes here.
Oh, what
How about
pass.
that no-look pass? Fleming, he slipped it under the defense to Andrews.
Again, Fleming, I think, turned the course of this game around in the first half. His play in the first half just made all the difference, I think.
Boyd's going to try and beat the shot clock. His 3 is off the front of the rim. This might be the final possession of the basketball game. East the miss. Stadelman's going to hold on to it. And
Birds will dribble it out.
Dan Muller's just saying cross half court and stand there and dribble this one out. Not sure many people would have predicted this final score, but Illinois State beats Bradley tonight at Redbird Arena 71-56. The Redbirds improved to 5-8 and 2-5 in the league, and the Braves slipped to 9-5, their second loss in the Valley at 3-2.
What a tremendous effort. That was a total team effort, I think. There were many accolades to spread around with the Redbirds, and yet the scoring performance that we saw by DJ Horn was incredible.
In fact, he's tonight's player of the game, brought to you by Carl Broman Medical Center, redefining healthcare around you. Visit carl.org to find the care you need. What a night for DJ Horn. 23 points on 9 of 16 shooting. He made 5 3-pointers. He also had 5 rebounds. A terrific effort for Horn and the Redbirds, who win it tonight 71-56 over Bradley in the I-74 rivalry matchup. Game 1 of 2 in this series for the year. For my producer, Lucas Raycroft, and broadcast partner Bob Morris, I'm Kurt Pegler saying